Hello there guys, and welcome to a brand new series on this channel. This is the weekly talk, which I'm excited to launch. It's basically going to be me talking directly at you, which I don't do often. I was looking at my channel today, and one thing I lack, well, two things, is a series of some kind that's frequent. And second of all, is actually a video where you can tune in, and it's not just like a highlight or some footage that I was in the moment of earlier. And quite often on my streams, I'll talk about subjects and people will be like, this is an aside we don't see in the videos really. So I figured 10-minute videos that you can sit, relax, watch and take some things from would be the perfect solution for that. So guys, the first thing I want to show you in terms of is RuneScape dying is this picture of some dominoes. Now why am I showing you some dominoes? Not the pizza kind either. Because this is how it all works. The first domino is the content that RuneScape release, right? The second domino is the community, the streamers, the video makers. The third domino is you, the players, the consumers. RuneScape is very much a business as much as it is a game, So the way that it runs and functions is no different to any business. So what I look at here is, let's take Deadman Mode for example. Deadman Mode was the fastest domino fall you could ever picture because Deadman Mode came out, everyone jumped on it, so all the dominoes were upright. And then what happened? The community collapsed, didn't it? People stopped streaming it, they said they don't like it anymore. So the game mode had fell over, the streaming community and video making community fell over, and then the community thought, well, no one's doing anything, I'm done too. So before you know it, the game collapsed and it just had the domino effect. And that's how the game and the player base remains the way it is. So let's go back to the population here. This is over the past 3 years, by the way. We've got January 2013 up to 2016. And you know what? Besides the catastrophic crash in 2013, the game is very much where it was a few years ago, believe it or not. You might find it hard to realise that the game hasn't changed much since then. Well, it has changed much, but in terms of player and population, it hasn't at all. So let's look here. The figures were 90,000 online. It then went all the way down to over half online, okay? And then what did they do? They picked it up. They knew they had to do something. This is a basic graph where that's going to keep declining if you don't act. So that's where Old School came out. They brought out this new server, which again, linking back to my point, new content. The community loved it and they still do love it. And it keeps all the dominoes standing. So you can see why I've got the dominoes picture up now. It's very relatable and it helps you understand easier. So they brought out Old School and then the game started growing. It went up. There was new updates. Oh, God Wars, that's a reason to come back. Grand Exchange, yes. That's debatable actually because we had trading posts which in my opinion were an absolute joke. To think they ever existed in the game, a trading post, it was so bad. It was just stuck in the corner of the bank and you just went up to it. It was like a GE, but it wasn't instant. So yeah, it kept trading alive, I guess. So looking at the two from the start to where we are now, there's only been about a 10% decrease, which is okay in my opinion. However, what isn't okay is what they've had to do to continue the player base where it is. So they've brought out Deadman Mode, they've brought out Darkscape, they've brought out all these updates, Old School, and they're still not where they were 3 years ago. So as a business, you could say, Jagex are throwing ideas at us to literally keep or bring back the people who left. Because, they were in desperate measures here, desperate times. And I think they've done a good job now to bring it where it is. So the question is now, I think I've told you all I need to about that. The question is now, where do we go from here? 2016, believe it or not, I think it's going to be a great year. I think we now have a solid base of streamers, video makers, and everyone, believe it or not, is at their peak as well. You can go and check Social Blades. There's a lot of YouTube channels with millions upon millions of views every single month. They're all, remember, they're the second domino to keeping the game alive. Let's just imagine for a moment a bunch of YouTubers resign and quit. Where do you think the game will go then? Without them millions upon millions of people tuning into the videos, there's a good chance they won't log on. Quite often you'll see a streamer and there will be someone following around in game or trying to do what he's doing. You'll say, get online guys and we'll go do this event, and it gets people involved. So you need to understand is that what keeps this game alive is the community. Absolutely. It's the community. You take that away and the game will just take a massive decline. But the community's never going to go away. And why? Because there's that much money in the game. Everyone wants a slice of the cake. And that's how it is. You may look at it as a game, but to the content creators and everyone else, it's a well-run business. It's like there's demand. People want to see it. So we're going to sit in front of it and do that. And that's how it works. So they're not just going to retire or go away. For as long as there's money in this game and there's a community, they have no reason to go. I mean, if 100 people, if thousands of people go missing from these channels and stuff, you may see them just go away because there's no reason for it anymore. But yeah, looking into the next year, I think we've got a good year ahead of us. I think that the game won't increase in size, but it will very much stay at a base. At the very worst, I think we'll get like a 10% decrease a year, in my opinion, from this point forward. But then again, there's that many strong people holding up the community with their audiences that can it really go anywhere? So as long as they keep updating it, because updating, again, starts off this domino effect. And I can't believe this vid's only been like 5 minutes. I feel like I've spoke for 20 minutes, done a fucking lecture. So, looking at the domino effect again, for as long as there's new content, the domino effect starts, like the Dragon Warhammer. Then it gets to the content creators, then it gets to the players, and boom, boom, boom. And for as long as it's alive like that, it's always going to be a thing. It's always going to be new and fresh. So yeah, I see the game having a good solid life of 5 more years. To answer the question, is RuneScape dying? I think we've got a good 5 years ahead. But then again, you cannot predict like unpredictable things. You can't predict an update this year that might actually destroy the whole game. So they're treading a very fine line. I mean, we've got Deadman Mode Seasonals coming out. We've got many other updates which can strengthen the game, keep the player base alive and the community. Which again, I keep going back to community, but that is what holds it all together. Remember that. So to wrap things up, we've got a good 5 years left, and who knows where it will go after that, But just don't be one of those people that says, even to me or any other video maker, what are you doing when RuneScape dies? I mean, you've got to live in the moment for whilst things are as they are. Otherwise, there wouldn't be room to capitalize on anything. Let's say there's a new film out. You can't just say to someone, don't make merchandise or don't do that there because where are you going to be in 1 year? There are certain things that just need to be in the moment, and RuneScape content creating, being a RuneScape YouTuber or whatever it is just an in the moment thing, and YouTube's not going to die. Neither is RuneScape. There's that much involved in it. It doesn't just collapse like you think it does. It fizzles out, it fades. So, to answer the question, is RuneScape dying? No, but it's fading slowly. Hope you've enjoyed watching, guys. This has been the RuneScape, what are we calling it? Weekly Talk number 1, okay? Number 2 will be out next week. If you want to leave some suggestions of what you'd like to hear me talk about, let me know in the comments. But apart from that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in a future video.